Hello, thank you for joining a new video. Today we have first impressions of the Nubia Fold. Let's begin. Nubia is a company that typically competes by offering low prices, so it appears that the Nubia Fold will likely be priced very competitively. However, while it will obviously make some compromises in certain areas, it still provides the proposition of a foldable device, which is generally seen as a very premium product. However, in this case, we find a thickness of 11.1 millimeters when the device is folded, so it is clearly perceived as a not so refined design compared to more sophisticated folding that are already below 9 millimeters. We found a weight of 249 grams, but interestingly, it has IP certification 54, which makes it resistant to splashes, although I would not put it to the test, honestly. In the screens, we find the traditional 5 inches outside and 8 inches inside, in both cases with a good resolution and OLED panels, so here does not make any kind of sacrifice. In fact, both screens offer 120 Hz to see good fluidity when we are moving between the different panels. In this case, we will also find stereo sound, so at least they do not cut back on the number of speakers, although they will surely have a basic quality. The front cameras are 20 megapixels, because if you have one inside and one outside, although the truth is that they are quite simple, and rear cameras are also very simple. In fact, I think that in all cameras is where they have got the most budget. We found ultra wide angle camera and main camera, both 50 megapixels, but has no telephoto camera, offers macro camera 5 megapixels, which the truth is that it is a very simple camera. We won't focus too heavily on it, but it's important to note that the camera experience is where they've made the most cutbacks. Usually when you see a foldable, you think it's a premium device, but foldables have never had outstanding cameras. This device honestly is quite disappointing because the cameras feel subpar. The front cameras are too basic and suitable only for video recording up to full HD. On the back you can achieve 8K resolution, but that's only with the main camera. Alternatively, you can record in 4K at 120 frames per second, also using the main camera, which is great for slow motion. Of course, you can also opt for 60 or 30 frames per second. However, no settings allow you to switch between cameras during recording, so in this aspect the experience isn't very polished or refined. But a key strength is the 6560 mAh battery, a really quite large battery, especially when you consider the foldable format of the device. However, it's important to note that this device is not particularly slim, so the inclusion of such a high capacity battery is at least justified. It supports charging at 55 watts via cable. In this particular case, it will not include wireless charging, which could be considered one of the compromises in terms of specifications, features and overall performance. It's slightly more compact than other foldables, yet it still boasts a good chip. Today, we are discussing the Snapdragon 8 Elite. Now, this might seem quite outdated to some, given that the current version is Gen 5. However, I want to remind you that the change in nomenclature might cause a bit of confusion. In reality, it's not as old of a processor as it might initially seem. Although it's not the very latest version, I believe that in terms of performance you won't encounter any issues. This is because it is equipped with 12 GB of RAM alongside 256 GB of storage, which should be more than sufficient for most needs. I believe the weakest aspect will certainly be the photography section. However, if you're seeking a foldable device for productivity that offers a large screen, you might try to make the most of it. The software appears to be somewhat optimized, at least the camera does seem to adjust its interface. However, interestingly, in this instance there is no button to activate the main screen when using the device. The device utilizes the rear cameras for selfies. We notice a small start menu for opening apps from the dock. However, it feels like the device is not fully refined yet. In the experience, if it goes on sale in Mexico, they should refine the software for better productivity experience. The internal screen space is an advantage. With a competitive price, it could compete as a foldable despite camera limitations. But please let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on this? What improvements would you suggest? What aspects do you think are good and which ones are bad? For now, we have come to the conclusion of this short video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, you can always let me know. And we will definitely see you next time.